one of the things that kind of hit me this weekend is that you never know when you're doing something for the last time, like the last time you read a kid a bedtime story, the last time they ask you to carry them somewhere, like they get tired on a walk, the last time they're in the hallway screaming, my legs are broken, my legs are broken. The last time they crawl into your bed, the last time they sit on your lap while you're watching TV. You're never told. You never kind of get a heads up when these things are going to happen. And I think, especially on the first kid, maybe a little bit on the second kid, you don't think about it. You're not aware of it. It doesn't really hit you. And I don't even know that it hits you for a long time, until a long time afterward, that you had that last moment. But with the third kid, maybe because you miss him with the first two, you're realizing, oh, someday this is going to be the last one. Someday this is going to be the last time this happens. And you never know when those times are going to happen, which sucks. And that kind of happened to us this weekend, where we went camping, and for the first time in more than 20 years, not just ours, but all of anybody's kids weren't there, which was very weird for me.
Well, you
anyway.
need to correct that, or someone's going to get a little angry at you.
No, I didn't say none of them were there. I said all of them weren't there. We'll address
one of them was.
We will address that later. I understand that. We'll address that. But I'm just saying,
yeah,
it's always been all of us. And that goes for the other family as well. And not only that, it goes for other families who weren't there. So yeah, this episode is about our little weekend camping trip. This is the Forward Project. So you may hear the dogs a little bit more than usual today, because we're coming back from our camping trip. They haven't spent any meaningful time with us in the last few days. So they're excited and a little bit on alert. So I apologize in advance if you hear them. It's just love. You just hear love or hatred for the people riding their bikes outside. One of the two. All right, let's start off the show. What you got?
Bay Breeze, Sea Breeze. I don't know. I'm drinking cranberry with a little Malibu.
Oh, cool. It looked like soda.
No, I don't.
That's
do
weird
soda.
for you. I am drinking, well, actually kind of soda. Sprite plus tea, 0 sugar, and a little bit of JMO.
Cheers.
So, cheers. All right, let's give a little background on the camping trip. So we started.
We're still trying to figure it out.
We're doing math today. This may have been our 20th year.
Well, with friends.
With friends, yeah. Or it may have been our 21st year. So we've been camping together for a long time. I mean, for most of our time together. We would go camping at least somewhere every year. Yeah. Even when you were pregnant, I remember I got in trouble by somebody. Because when we started camping, we were camping with, sleeping bags and a tent, and we barely even had mats for the floor.
We didn't have mats.
We didn't know that. Yeah, well, we moved up to those. Yeah, we moved up to thin mats. But in any case, when you were pregnant, so did we go with somebody at the time?
Yeah, we did.
And they were like, "You can't have her sleeping on the ground. She's pregnant." And I'm like,
they gave us theirs.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not having her do anything. We went camping and we're camping. I didn't know any better at the time. That's what we do. And they ended up giving you like a pad or something. It wasn't an air mattress.
I think they did.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and we're like, what is this?
We definitely couldn't have afforded one at the time anyway.
Right.
So we've been camping together for forever. Even just locally. Usually just locally. But when the kids were born and then a little bit older, after I opened the martial arts school, we made some good friends, and we all kind of had the brainy idea to get a couple of the families together and go camping one year. Well, that turned into that started with 3 families camping together, and it evolved into, I mean, how many families at our peak?
I know at one point we had 12 adults and 24 children.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty
at
cool. So
least 6 families, I think,
yeah,
but maybe more
yeah, that's crazy.
thrown in between. I just remember I counted one year we were there and I'm like, holy cow, we like own this campground right now because we
Yeah,
have, it's all us. There's just kids everywhere, which is awesome.
we think it was about 21 years ago. I
Yeah.
think is what we're thinking, but yeah. In any case, it's been a long time, and it changed a lot through the years. How we did things changed changed a lot through the
Right.
years. Families came
Come and
in,
go.
other families dropped out. Uh, kind of going through their own things and doing their own things, and it's tough. Like, we can't. The logistics of us getting together with another couple are crazy. Like, what weekend works for you? When are you free? Well, I'm free here, but he's not free here, and and she's not free over here, and I can't get. So,
Right.
I mean, the logistics of getting all these families together on the same weekend every year also kind of got a little bit crazy, and sometimes people couldn't make it. So, in any case, it ended up dwindling down over the last few years until this year. It was just us and one of the original families that we went with,
The OGs.
the OGs. So we always have a good time. The kids have gotten older on both sides. I think starting last year, the kids came out for a couple days and hung out with us during the daytime, maybe one night into the nighttime. I don't think anybody slept over last year. I think last year was the first year they didn't sleep over, but they were there. They at least came out. And then this year, my daughter was there with her boyfriend. She came out and camped with us the whole weekend. Their daughter came out for one night. Their son didn't come out, and neither of my boys came out. I'm not faulting anybody. I'm not shitting on anybody by saying this. People have their own things they got to do. I get it. It's that, like I just said, it's that whole logistics of getting everybody together at the same time. Everybody works. Everybody's got jobs and families now. They're married. They've got houses. They've got other responsibilities. So it's going to happen. So this isn't about shitting on anybody who wasn't there. This is just kind of about how it was different for us to not have them there. It started out as these family camping trips have kind of just circled around into just kind of a small
Where we
little
started.
weekend getaway. Yeah. That was, yeah, thanks. Well, you've just closed the freaking show again by jumping on. But yeah, it's almost full circle.
Yeah.
We started out you and me, and then the family came in and had fun, and then now it's kind of back to you and me, and our friends are in the same boat. It was kind of, this year was weird for me because it was kind of like really realizing that something's over, like the end of an era. And not with a some big dramatic goodbye or theme music playing playing it out, but just kind of a quiet realization that okay, this is probably the way it's going to be most of the time from now on. I mean, who knows? Maybe next year schedules free up, people will come out and they'll be able to do it. But then maybe the next year they won't, and eventually, our daughter won't be there one year, and
What?
and that's, I know, I know. I guess just for me, how small it was okay, but it was very. I wasn't. It's okay. So it's a weekend off of the weekend we usually go because of my work. Things changed. I had to do things a little bit different. But we've been going with the same group of people for over 20 years. Same campground for all but 2 years. Same people, same traditions, same games, same inside jokes. That same kind of camaraderie and fun. So not having, I guess, I mean, let's speak to the larger group as a whole. Not having that whole larger group there, I wasn't prepared for how weird that felt to me.
Yeah. Agreed. I know you want me to. I'm trying to keep it upbeat, but it's kind of sad.
It was sad. It was sad, and
And
I was upset at one point because I knew our oldest wasn't going to be able to make it. So you kind of resign yourself to that and say, okay, they're not coming. But my younger son, our younger son, was supposed to be there Thursday night and into Friday, and ended up not being able to make it. But I didn't find out until it was close to that time, so I was sad and disappointed. And what was that? You were afraid to drink?
I was gonna say we didn't find out until he wasn't
Until
there.
he wasn't there.
And he
And that
didn't
was
say
sad and disappointing. And
yeah.
again, not disappointing in him, not sad at him or upset with him. Just sad that it's over.
Yeah, what did I keep saying all weekend? We need to have grandbabies so we can have kids running around here again.
Oh, I thought you were talking like, someone get me another drink. No, just kidding.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is because that's how you picture it. Not you, but that's how I always pictured it in my head. I always pictured, we have these great trips that we go on, these great camping trips, and our kids are there, and they've been there since they were, almost babies, and their kids are there. We've known them since they were pretty much babies. Some of them we've known since they were babies. And you kind of picture in your head while you're doing all this thing, we're playing games with the adults and the kids are off running around, and you're like, hey, someday we're going to be playing these games with our kids. And then it happens and the kids go over, and all of a sudden you're playing, washers or cornhole or can jam with your kids instead of just like the adults. And then, we used to have the wiffle ball game.
Yeah,
The adult versus kids wiffle ball game every year, and that was tradition. And then all of a sudden, they hit 18 years old and they want to be on the adult team. We're like, no, it's still this generation versus your generation. Right. But we even
made a joke about it one of the nights, and we'd be like, let's do adults first. We talked about the wiffle game, and we're like, kids against the adults, and we're like, wait, so everyone would get a home run because
you just got to throw the ball up, hit it yourself, and then run around the bags. I'd still strike out. So you kind of envision this evolution of this, where okay, so now you're playing with them and they're side by side with you, and then next thing you know, their kids are going to be there running around doing what they do, and you just picture it evolving, and it's as great as it looks. All of a sudden, we're going to have grandkids here, and there's all going to be this uninterrupted flow of just from this to this, and it's just it's sadly not realistic. And I think this was the year where that really hit me, that you're not going to get that nice even evolution, which is sad to me. Yeah. So yeah. All right, cool.
Well, I thought I didn't want to interrupt you. It's very sad to me, and I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to be the downer, so I'm backed up a little bit because I missed everyone there. I missed the feeling of. So we moved into the neighborhood because we like the sounds of kids and neighborhoods and activities, and now we're out there and we're like, there isn't that, but there's other kids, so we enjoyed watching them. And
yeah, that was fun. Way to make it creepy. So we enjoyed watching the other kids.
Well, just brought back memories of when our kids did the things they're doing.
Yeah, the kids on the scooters and the kids on the bikes riding around and acting like idiots.
Yeah, parents yelling at them.
Yeah, yeah, which we never did. Yeah. So, and by the way, don't get me wrong. Like the idea of, excuse me, here we go again. You can tell I've been camping all weekend because I'm exhausted. But when we started taking these trips, everyone had kids. I mean, you're handing out juice boxes. You're carrying all their crap. You had to bring so much stuff. We used to bring 2 cars, full carloads, and packed to the point where I think at one point we had to ask somebody if they could bring Christian, right? Because we couldn't fit one of our kids in the car because you said so much stuff. Me always worried about one of these kids sticking a sparkler in somebody else's eye.
Yeah, you're always afraid of that.
Yeah, or flicking a burning marshmallow at somebody.
Well, we did see that happen to somebody.
Yeah, we did. Not camping, but
right.
Who's not getting along with who? Who wants to go to the beach when all the parents are like, I just freaking sat down.
Right.
So back then when you're going through all that, leading up to this seemed like a great idea. It seemed like, oh my God, I cannot wait until they're just grown up, and we can just do the things we want to do without that. And and here we are, and it's like you said, it's just it's different.
It's different, definitely different. And trying to maintain our traditions, and because our
Yeah,
daughter is very much into that, so we still have to do all the routines we used to do.
yeah. You spend a lot of time wishing things would settle down. You could just go camping and enjoy it. And then we had a few years of that as the kids were older, but it's so short compared to that time waiting for that time, and then that time lasts because the kids got to move on with their lives.
Right.
So now, okay, let's take it away from the kids for a second. What about our deadbeat friends who didn't show up?
Yeah.
And by the way, you know who you are.
um some, like you said, is trying to schedule everybody, and
I'm teasing, obviously, but
yeah, we did have one come up and hang for one of the days. But yeah, just things happen. People are doing their own thing, and this was the perfect weekend too. I mean, we've had
oh,
some
so
pretty bad
beautiful.
weekends. We could get into memories of weekends and stuff, but it was a perfect weekend of 75 degrees. And yesterday in the
Yeah,
shade, I had a light poncho on because it was a little
yeah, you
cool.
were about to get thrown off the campsite for that
So,
by me. 75 degrees, you were in a freaking poncho.
right. We got marriages, divorces, people also with their grown kids, and they're like, we only went because we had the kids. We don't want to have our asses out there. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. There is that true.
yeah,
There's some people who couldn't make it. There's some people who are brutally honestly saying, I'm not doing that.
right,
I'm not
right.
subjecting myself to that. So it's it's not a lot of fun with the breakdown, the put together and the breakdown
Yeah, 'cause you don't have
of
them to do it.
a campsite, because we always did. I mean, the kids were
Yeah,
always very helpful, but I mean, just lugging stuff back and forth to cars. Like I said, 2 carfuls. This year, what do we pack up at the end of the weekend? A tent, a tarp, and an air mattress.
right.
That was it. Threw it in the
Yeah.
car, threw the cooler in. We didn't even bring food. We would run out and grab food, kind of piecemeal as we went.
Well,
And
the dogs helped that
yeah,
because
that's true.
I'd have to come home between letting dogs out, and so that was actually nice. But yeah, we didn't even go to the beach once.
No, thank God. I
Right.
know you like it, but I hate the beach.
Well, I don't like to sit in the sun so much
Oh yeah, no,
anymore.
no. It was still a lot of fun. I mean, you find ways to make your own memories. Let's go over some of those memories, hon. How do you feel about bocce these days?
Bocce's awesome, but I did that for the show.
You did that for the show. Uh-huh. Yeah, you are such a bald-faced liar.
I had a
So,
blonde moment.
we're it was more than a blonde moment. Oh my God. And it's probably not going to come across as funny as it was when it happened, but we're
Right.
playing bocce. And basically what happens, because we play in the grass. Yeah, it's literally lawn bowling. So whoever throws the Pauline has to go out with one of the drink holder stems and kind of put it in the ground like a golf flag so that we can all see where it goes. They throw the Pauline, they follow up with their ball, they run out, and they mark it for us. And they stand there. So Bobby wins the turn before, gets to throw the Pauline this time. She throws it, throws her ball, runs out, marks the Pauline. Somebody on my team throws the ball, because we do guys against girls. Somebody on my team throws the ball, and she goes, nope, red's closer. Green throws again. So I get up and I throw the ball, and she's like, I think it's still red. So I'm like, let me go out and check. So I start walking out there, and she's literally pointing with like complete dedication to what she just said. And then she kind of points at the Pauline, and I look down, and I'm like, are you for real right now? And she goes, yeah. She goes, honey, that's not even the Pauline. And she goes, oh, sorry, it's an egg. By the way, nor was it an egg. It was a round white mushroom. She was about 3.5 feet off the Pauline, and she was standing there marking a round white mushroom and getting all defiant with me about who was right and who was wrong about what was
No,
closer.
no, no. I was going down that it was an egg. I thought an egg fell out of the pine tree that was above us.
A full-on chicken-size egg, by the way.
Yeah. I know. I won't live that down.
That was great.
It's fine.
That was great. Good
But it's
times.
just memories to talk about because that's what we do at night around
Yep.
the fire. We talk about Christian streaking.
Yeah, our oldest son used to in his underwear, but I don't know from the earliest I can remember, he just came out one night and was just running around the campsite going, "Woo!"
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was funny. Good times.
Yep. Dad, you're gonna kill us. Breaking down the tent.
So my other son, it was late. It was coming up on the time we had to leave. Like checkout time is at noon, and this you're going back.
It was late. It was probably like 8 o'clock in the morning because you break the tent down at like dawn.
No, I wouldn't have done it at 8 o'clock. I did to him because it was coming up on time. We had to pack up and get the hell out of there. So I go over and I take the while he's sleeping, I take the stems out of his tent, the poles, and it just collapses on top of him. And he starts getting so mad. He's just see the tent start moving around like he's kicking the tent. And he goes over and he finds me there and he unzips and he goes, "That's how people die." And I'm like, "It's probably not. It's not like I lit it on fire and took the poles out." I don't think anybody's ever died because somebody took the poles out of their tent.
But there was a few years ago, we went, and there's still a few families going, and you didn't stay because you had to work, so you went home, and we're going to be getting a rainstorm, pretty strong rainstorm, and the kid Brandon and Linnea wanted to stay, and our other families wanted to stay, so I said I would stay in my tent that's under the trees, nice and safe from rain.
Yeah, where you're not supposed to be during a lightning storm is under a tree.
Right. And then we find out this rainstorm is going to be much worse than we thought. And because the campground's was only like 40 minutes from our house at that time. Now we're even closer. But we asked the rangers, "Are you shutting down?" "Nope, we're going to stay open. If people want to stay, we're here. We're staying open." And holy hell, God's wrath opened up and dumped down, and it was almost hurricane. Crazy. I was so scared in my tent. I'm like, why am I under a tree that could fall down? And
I didn't even think about you guys. I was home in bed. I was asleep when it happened, so I didn't even know there was a storm.
Yep. And then see, all night you're there. The kids were in there. Brandon and Linnea had stayed up late anyway, and then they go into bed at some point. I get up and I get out of the tent because it's now sunny. Well, not sunny, but the sun is up, and I look over at Linnea's tent, and it's crushed with something laying across it. I don't remember what was laying across it, but it's crushed. I was like, "Oh my God." And I go running over there, afraid to open it, but yeah, I have to open it. And I'm looking around and it was a mess. So I slowly open it and I look inside and she wasn't in it because thankfully her older brother took care of her instead of me telling her to come with me in my tent. He took her in his tent and all was good. So, but we stuck it out.
Yep. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Well, I would have had to work.
Yeah.
I would have stayed.
No, you wouldn't have. You would have been like, "We're going home."
Yeah. I'm like, this is horse crap.
And I think that deterred a lot of people too after that.
Because you don't know. I mean,
yeah.
So. Like I said, we had a perfect weekend this weekend. No rain. It sprinkled a little bit that first night.
Right.
But other than that, no rain. Nice, cool nights. Almost too cold.
Yeah, it was in the 50s.
Which is bizarre.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
This time of year, usually we're you're sweating inside the tent. You got fans blowing in your faces as long as the batteries last. Yeah. One thing I miss is camping etiquette. People don't teach their kids camping etiquette. There's just kids just walking through your campsite. There's adults walking through your campsite. 6 o'clock in the morning. They're just, camping, you stay up late, you're having fun around the campfire, you don't want to go to bed. Finally go to bed and, quiet time is until 7 in the morning. So you think you at least have that. But 6 o'clock in the morning, there's people walking right past our tent. and there's blah 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 talking about they're like, oh, I slept like blah 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 blah. It's like, at least whisper, you jagoff.
Right. But you said staying up late around there was nobody like everybody went to in bed by quiet time is 10 o'clock at night. That's quiet time. That's not go to sleep time.
It's like go to bedtime.
You're at a campground hanging out with friends and you go to bed at 10 and where you stay up, well, not like we used to. I mean, we used to stay
No.
up until yeah. Now we're like, oh God, it's 11 o'clock. We have to go to bed, or 11 or 12 o'clock. And we're struggling with that. Like last night, I'm trying to read some trivia and I'm falling asleep as I'm reading it. And they're like, do you want us to read it? Because I was having a hard time and it was only 11:30 or whatever. Everybody else is asleep in their tents or in their RVs. And the
Yeah,
RV,
fire's out, kids in.
I would like, sure, I would like an RV maybe at some point to sleep in, but these people with their RVs stay in them like the whole night they're there.
Yeah, it's
I
like
don't
they
get
didn't even do
that
a
either.
campfire. Yeah, instead
Right,
of having a campfire, they sat on the couch in the RV around the TV or something.
right. Well, that was the other thing. We were sitting at the fire and like you could hear two sets of Disney movies blaring because people had their kids in their tents watching movies. We never did that.
No,
The kids
nope.
were
The only
out
time they watched
playing
a movie is when the kids went down to the
the big screen
to,
they
to the
had.
arena and they put up the big screen and they would play the
Right.
movies.
Right. And then as technology got better, maybe at the very end of the night, if they wanted to, they might have had one just to like
Yeah, to put
go to
themselves to
sleep or
bed.
something. But yeah, it's different, definitely different. We don't party like we used to at our age. I mean, we used to
That's
like,
true. That's true.
we used to, we were up playing games all day, drinking all day, while you're playing all those lawn games. Maybe Maybe taking an afternoon nap when you got tired and then go back, and we were just I mean, we got banished. That
and that wasn't that many years ago.
right, and, go
So yeah, so we're sitting around the campfire, and this is when we had a lot of people there. There were probably I don't know, easily 15 people sitting around the fire, maybe more.
yeah, and we had people coming, like, Brandon's friends would come up
Right.
to
Right.
hang out, yeah.
So we're playing catchphrase, which is a game where you've got a little machine with it gives you clues. It gives you words. You've got to give clues to get your team to get the words, and then you've got to pass it before the buzzer sounds. And whoever the buzzer sounds on loses that round. So it's you hear tick 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 tick, but then we're yelling, screaming, "No, you idiot! That's not the right word!" And it was well past 10 o'clock. So at some point, somebody decided to rat us out and call the Rangers on us, and they came over, and we never even got the nice warning. It was never like, "Hey guys, just 10 o'clock is." He comes over, and it's the most haggard looking guy you've ever seen in your life, and standing behind him is the second most. It looked like his dad, and he looked like
He
the
just
first
got
guy.
out of bed.
Yeah, the first guy was half asleep. The second guy was still asleep.
Right. One shirt
Yeah.
side tucked in, one
Yeah.
out, uneven buttoned, hair tousled.
We've gotten several phone calls about this party. He goes, it's quiet time, and if you can't be quiet, we're gonna banish you from the bar. Like, okay, banish from the bar. So meanwhile, the game is still ticking, and the guy that's holding on to it doesn't know how to shut it off, and it just gets louder and louder and louder, and the ticking goes, and all it goes while the guy is talking.
And I'm like, shut it off.
Oh God, and he couldn't. He had no idea how.
And we're getting yelled at, and as grown-ass
Yeah,
adults
we're
for having
grown-ass adults.
So then
getting chewed out by the Rangers. You go ahead.
So we disperse because we had to disperse and get sent to our tents by the park rangers, and and one of our friends, one of the OGs, picks up his chair and drags like 12 cans of beer behind him, like the just married, when you get just married and you have the cans behind, they were attached to his chair, and he just brings it through the whole campground.
And all you hear is freaking cans dragging the whole way. He's about 3 campsites away.
Which, good times. Which brings me to another thing. We clean up today. Linnea, because we had to come home to let the dogs out in the morning. When we got back, Linnea had cleaned up the area for us. Thank you. But she has our Stop and Shop little reusable grocery bags with all of our cans in it. Now, back in the day, I would have 2 garbage bags full
Oh yeah. Yep.
of cans for returnables, and you used to get so mad at me. You're not bringing those home, and that was money we spent on it, and it wasn't all our drinks. It was the group. But now I have one little Stop and Shop full of
Yeah. Well, half
not
full of
even just
seltzers. Yeah. Half
half
full of
full of
seltzers.
seltzer, right?
Seltzers
And
and
then some,
sodas.
right? So it's just yeah, times are different because people aren't drinking as much anymore. Maybe the next thing I thought of, so we're sitting there and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, just trying to get ourselves going and playing phase 10, whatever. We're sitting there and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. I said, so you can't have a beer at 11 o'clock because that's frowned upon. But as we're sitting there, there is so much pot smell going around at 10 o'clock in the morning, and that's okay because I don't
Because
know the
it's not a
reason.
beer.
Because it's not a beer. So maybe that's why people do it too. You can do it any time of day. I don't know why it's okay to do it any time and you can't drink, but so people have moved into smoking. And how does that go for you?
What's that, hon?
How did that go for you?
How's what go for me?
Well, I'll let you.
All right. So I do not typically partake.
Right.
I have taken it. I've had gummies for as a sleep aid for back pain, kind of, anxiety sometimes.
Because we're old.
Because we're old. I'm not against it. I don't frown upon it. I just, it's not a in any way a regular part of my life. So my friend has a pen and asks me if I would like to take a hit. So, we're having fun. And I'm like, sure, why not? So I do.
And they do.
And they do. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't just like, hey, you want this? Hurry up and eat this. Is going bad.
Well, because things, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So he takes a hit. I take a hit. His wife takes a hit. And I don't even know how long it was. 10 minutes? Not the hit. The hit wasn't 10 minutes long. That would be.
Well, you took 2. She took 1.
I didn't get anything out of the first one.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if the pen wasn't working, but yeah. Because like you said, he thinks it might have been at the end. So, but the second one, I got some. And yeah, within 10 minutes, I'm checking something on my phone and everything just goes whoop. Like instantly everything just shuts down. And I almost felt like I was going to pass out.
But you don't say anything.
But I don't say anything. I got hyper aware. So my eyes start darting around a little bit. And I start to get really, really anxious. And I just look at Bobby and I'm like, I think I'm going to go to bed. So I get up out of my chair and I can barely get up out of my chair. I can't feel my legs.
But again, I can't tell. It's pitch black out. We're just have a small fire going and I'm not really paying attention. We're just kind of hanging out. I'm like, all right, you're going to bed because you're.
And I also don't want to let anything on right now. I'm trying not to let on that there's something very, very wrong with me.
Right. And you've been going to bed before any of us because you're old.
And it was actually and it was pretty late that night too.
Oh yeah, anyway. It was 11. Yeah, that's pretty late.
All right, it's not like it was 9. Shut up. You see, right. I'm trying to look cool here in my story about how I can't handle pot.
Right.
So I start walking back to the tent and I'm struggling. I am struggling. I'm having such a hard time putting one foot in front of the other. And my body is numb and I've still got this kind of sunken in feeling where like I almost feel like I'm going to pass out. And I make it back to the table and I stand there and I don't know why I'm there. Like, I'm like, I don't know why I came to the table, but I've got my phone out. I've got my flashlight on and I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go to bed. So I turn around and I start walking to my tent. And I get to my tent and I realize it's not my tent. I had walked in completely the wrong direction. I'm standing at the door of somebody else's tent at 11 o'clock at night, knowing they're in there because everybody in the campsite is asleep. And but I don't go back to my tent immediately or back to the picnic table or anything. I kind of stand there in my head trying to figure out how I got here. I'm like, I don't know how I got over here. So I end up kind of getting myself together, and this isn't minutes. This is probably long seconds that I'm doing this, but it's enough to make it awkward if somebody walks by.
Right.
So I end up getting into our tent, and I reach out, and I can't find the zipper. It's at that corner where the bottom zipper and the top zipper come together, so they're overlapping, and I keep grabbing the wrong one, and then I let it go, and I keep digging, trying to find it, and I keep grabbing the same one, and I can't get the freaking tent open. So finally, I find it. I get in the tent. I step in. My foot catches the lip of the tent, and I fall on the bed. And it takes every ounce of energy I have to push myself back up off of that. I just wanted to stay there and die. So I push myself back up and I go to get my change of clothes because at this point I got to go to the bathroom. I want to brush my teeth. So I end up grabbing my toothbrush. I don't know if I went to the bathroom first or brush my teeth first.
I wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
But I think I brushed my teeth first because I think I went to the bathroom, and then that's when I thought I lost my phone. Yeah. So in any case, so I get my toothbrush. I go over back to the picnic table, and I wet my toothbrush with some water and put the toothpaste on it. I start brushing my teeth and walking back to you. And I end up brushing my teeth over by you guys around the fireplace.
But you weren't in the fireplace. You're like slightly off.
Yeah, but over near you guys. But
I'm like, what are you doing? And I look at them like, what is he doing? And Linnea's like, I think he's on his phone. And then she's like, no, he's brushing his teeth. I'm like, why are you brushing the teeth over by our campsite? And then I don't remember what you walked away or something.
Yeah. Nope, I came over to get my phone.
Oh, right.
So I grabbed my phone and my charger, and I put them in my pocket. I walk to the bathroom from there the best I can. I'm going really, really, really slow still because I can't. I'm having a hard time thinking, never mind walking. But I make it to the bathroom, go to the bathroom. I walk back to the campsite. I go back in the tent, again, fumbling with the zipper, but I throw my phone and the charger in the bag. I change my clothes, and I go back out for some reason. I can't remember why. Oh, because I start tapping myself and I can't find my phone.
Right.
So I start freaking out because I can't find my phone, and I go over and I'm looking for it. I got my lantern. I'm looking on the table. I'm looking anywhere I can think of to find
my phone. And that's when I come over and check on you to figure out.
Yeah, because they see me holding the light. Like, what's going on? I'm like, I can't find my phone. Like, it's over in your chair.
100 miles an hour.
Yeah, they're like, it's over in your chair. So I'll go over. It's not in the chair. I can't find the damn thing. And I walk back and I'm like, I don't care. I'll find it in the morning. I'll find it in the morning. And I go to bed and I'm like, it's right there in my bag where I had just put it 10 minutes before. And I'm like, I got it. And I lay in bed and I get ready for bed. I end up laying in bed and I'm just sitting there and I can't sleep. I'm exhausted. I want to die, but every thought you can imagine is running through my head right now. My heart is racing. My eyes are wide open. I feel like I can't breathe, despite the fact that I'm breathing like perfectly fine. But every once in a while I have to be like, because I felt like I wasn't getting enough air in my lungs. And I'm like, I'm gonna die right here. Nobody's ever died from marijuana. I'm gonna be the first one.
One hit of marijuana.
From one hit. And so she comes in a few minutes later, and I'm still sitting with my eyes open, and she's freaking out because now she's got a light, and it keeps going into my eyes, and every time it goes into my eyes, I turn my head and look into it because I just had this compulsion. I had to see what was happening. So I finally get calm enough to close my eyes, but I'm still freaking out. And she starts playing with a plastic bag or something. And I think you were doing your contacts.
Yeah,
your contacts
yeah.
So she's got a plastic bag, and all I hear is like the crinkling of the plastic bag, which felt like it went on for freaking hours. And I know in my head now, I know it was seconds, but time had like just gone to this place where all I'm hearing is, and it was freaking me. I was so hyper aware. In any case, eventually I fell asleep after like up and down paranoia for probably half hour, 45 minutes. I ended up falling asleep. I ended up waking up at about 5:30 in the morning in the same exact position I fell asleep in, which,
Yeah.
if you've ever been camping, is unheard of. You toss and you turn every second when you're camping. It's so hard to get comfortable. I fell asleep and then woke up in the exact same position. What,
So you got a good night's sleep
almost
from
6
it.
hours later? No, I didn't. It's horrible.
And then you tell me all about it the next
So I
day.
tell her all about it. I'm like, don't say anything to anybody. Then we go over
Okay.
around the fire pit, and my friend's wife says, she goes, I don't know about you. She goes, but I had a horrible experience with that stuff last night. She goes, I was paranoid. She goes, I thought I was going to die. I forget
She
what.
goes, I couldn't move my limbs.
Yeah, she goes, I couldn't move my limbs.
She goes, I'm watching you walk across the.
And she's like, how is he doing that? And I'm like, oh my God. I said, sheer will. I said, I felt the same way. So I don't know. Apparently it was something called cheddar cheese, which I will never, ever, ever, ever do again.
But it didn't affect everybody the same.
Yeah, which was bizarre.
Yeah.
You know, it hit her and it hit me, and he was fine. But good God.
To drinking?
I don't know what I'm going to stick to. I'll probably give that up at some point too, and just, I don't know, be anxiety ridden and miserable. Yeah, good times.
And the kids didn't get to see it.
No, they would have had a blast.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you first start out, you don't know you're making these traditions or trying to build these traditions. You just kind of go and camp with friends. And I don't know what year we kind of thought it was going to keep on going forever. But I guess maybe you don't. Maybe you don't consciously think that at all. Maybe it's just, it kind of happens because you've been doing it so long. I don't know. This was just this is a bittersweet year. It was a lot of fun. And don't get me wrong, I'll do it again next year, and I'll do it the exact same way. Well, not the exact same way. I'll leave out that last part. But it was different, and it's going to be different every year. And I'm sure some years we'll have kids and grandkids there. You know, maybe new friends, always the old friends.
Yeah.
And, you know, you start making new ones. You know, it's kind of like I said at the beginning, you don't know when that last time something's going to happen is going to be. And I guess maybe you don't, because you would do things differently. You'd almost manufacture other things. And I think one of the things that's great about those moments is they're real. You know, they're genuine. You're not trying to force them. You know, you're not, I don't know. You never want to look at your kid and say, hey, do you want me to carry you up this hill? You know, Dad, I'm 50. You know, you want them to have that organic moment where, you know, they're tired and they can't make it up the hill, so they need you. You know, but maybe you'd stay up a little later. You know, maybe
to go in the water with them.
I probably still wouldn't do that.
Not this
a
water anyway.
Yeah.
And not this water.
No. No. But and I would go in the water with him.
Fine.
But, you know, stay a little bit longer at the beach with them. You know, do one more terrible song around the campfire.
Right.
But you can't do that because you don't know when it's going to be. So you just do the best you can. And you kind of hold on to those memories, and then you try to make new ones.
Right.
So I don't know. I guess all I can say to kind of cap this off is to my boys and to any of the other families or children of the families that weren't there this weekend, we missed you. And, you know, hopefully we'll get back to a point where maybe we can make it a reunion year and everybody shows up again. But, you know, that's getting older. And I mean, I didn't want this episode to be a downer. It's really not a downer. It's just, it's a transition, and, you know, kids are still in our lives.
Yeah.
You know, we're still making memories. They're just different. Like you said, I guess you put it best. It's kind of more full circle. You know, we started going camping, you and me, and here we are camping, you and me.
And Linnea. Do not forget.
I know. And she knows.
But
God, she knows. Yeah, but someday she won't be.
No, I don't see that happening ever.
At least one of these years, she's going to have a job where she's not going to be able to make it, or a responsibility, or or they move away. You don't know. Things happen. You don't want them to, but they do.
And just an update in case anybody cares. My training is done for my job, and I start my new position tomorrow. So looking forward to that. Trying to decide, try not to be anxious, but I still have a little anxiety about it because when I trained, and everyone there was wonderful and supportive, and I'm assuming my new team will be, but you still have that, especially when I got trained on something that I'm not really doing. So,
That's always the best.
but I got an understanding of like how everything works. So, yeah,
That's
just want to
good.
give
That's
everyone
good.
just want to give everyone an update. Things are going good, moving forward, and yeah.
So going forward, we got a lot of great stuff planned. I hope you guys keep listening. We're not always going to have heavy topics, but we do have a couple of heavier episodes coming up. The last 2 episodes have been a little more whimsical and kind of day in the life kind of episodes, which are a little more fun to do for us. But I think the heavier episodes are also very important. So we'll be doing some of those too. So keep listening, listen, comment, follow, like, react, engage. I don't know what all the taglines are you're supposed to say.
Everybody knows what you're supposed to do. Just support us in any way
just
you
go
can.
do it.
Just go
do
do
it. All right. Appreciate everybody listening. This is the Forward Project.
Bye. Have a great week.
Bye, guys.
See ya.